This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online guitar academy. I'm so delighted to have you joining me. In this quick answer episode, I'm going to answer the question, how do you play an E7 chord on the guitar? So classic E7 chord. We'll start off by taking a look at a little bit of the theory. So first, the chord symbol. The chord symbol has a capital letter E or uppercase letter E followed by the number 7. If there's anything else there, then it's not an E7 chord. If you see something else in the chord symbol, it's not E7. So E7 just has the capital letter E and the number 7. The pitches that are in an E7 chord are E, G sharp, B, and D. So the E7 chord comes right out of the E mixolydian scale. The mixolydian scale is a major scale with a flatted seventh. So the only difference between an E major scale and an E mixolydian scale, or an E Ionian mode and E mixolydian mode, is that step number 7 in an E major scale is natural or major, and in the mixolydian mode, or the dominant 7th scale, the scale for a dominant 7th chord, you could say E7 is a dominant 7th chord, has a flatted 7th. So from that scale, the E is the first step of the scale, G sharp is the 3rd step of the scale, B is the 5th step of the scale. It's a major chord because all of those notes are both in the E major chord and in the E major scale, as they are in the E7 chord and in the E mixolydian mode. But the 7th, we add the D pitch here, which is the flatted 7th. That's what the D is. Now, we can look at these pitches and this chord by interval relationship, meaning the distance between two pitches. So step number 1 of the scale, which is the starting pitch of the chord, is known as the root. So I have an R written here. The root is the pitch that we see written in the chord symbol. So it's the starting pitch. The intervals are going to happen above that. The G sharp is a major 3rd above the E. So G sharp. The B is a perfect 5th above the E. And then the D is a minor 7th or a flatted 7th above the root. It's 2 different ways to say that. So E, G sharp, B, and D. E, G sharp, B, D. Those are the pitches in an E7 chord. Now we can voice it in multiple ways, meaning we can spread out the pitches further than just going E, G sharp, B, and D. We can also double pitches, like the root or the 5th are sometimes doubled. That's kind of common. Occasionally you might see the 3rd or even the 7th doubled, but the root and the 5th are commonly doubled. Sometimes we also might omit the 5th because it might not be possible in that particular part of the guitar to play the 5th and the flatted 7th. And since it's a dominant 7th chord, we need that flatted 7th there. Okay, so we'll take a look at the voicings. The most popular one, the most common one, is up here in the upper right hand corner. If you need help knowing how to read these tablature diagrams, you can check out my quick answer video on how to read tablature diagrams, guitar tablature diagrams. But our most common voicing here in first position for E7. With this one, our index goes on the 1st fret of the 3rd string. Our middle finger goes on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and everything else is played open. So strings 1, 2, 4, and 6 are all played open, just like so. If you're used to playing the E major chord, all we have to do is take our ring finger off, and we've got E7. E7 versus E major versus E minor. So there's our E7. Great sounding chord. Now, if you jump down here diagonally to this bottom, this one that's at the lowest part of the board on the bottom here, this is an alternate way to play E7 in first position that sometimes gets played, especially in a little more bluesy context where we actually play the E and then add the flatted 7th up top on the 3rd string. So in playing this one, our index goes at the 1st fret of the 3rd string. Our middle goes at the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Our ring goes at the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and our pinky goes at the 3rd fret of the 2nd, and then the rest of the pitches, the outside 2, are played open. That's a another way to play E7 on guitar, another voicing that gets used from time to time. I especially use this one when I want it to sound kind of bluesy. So we'll take a look at the bar chords in case you're needing bar chords for E7. So with the first one, it's just like our first position kind of common E7 chord there. But it's up at the 12th fret, so we're going to bar at the 12th fret. But it's the same shape, just barred at the 12th fret. So my index finger bars at the 12th fret, my middle plays on the 3rd string at the 13th fret, my ring plays on the 5th string at the 14th fret. Everything else is played open. So there's an E7 bar chord all the way at the 12th fret. This is an octave higher than the open version. All the same pitches. There's another one with bars off the 5th string, so we just bar the top 5 strings. We don't play the low 6th string. This one happens with a bar at the 7th fret. When I play this one, I tend to bar or to mute the 6th string, so my bar just goes right up until that 6th string kind of mutes it in case I accidentally play it. So that's at the 7th fret. Then our ring finger is going to play at the 9th fret on the 4th string. Our pinky is going to play at the 9th fret on the 2nd string. And we're going to strum the top 5 strings. Just like so. So that's a classic E7 bar chord. It's the A7 shape. It's used with a bar in front of it. Another movable shape, it's not technically a bar, but another movable one that can be used is like taking C7 from first position and moving it up. And so this one sometimes gets played as well. This one is one that's going to omit the 5th, back from our theory, but our index finger goes at the 5th fret on the 2nd string. Our middle goes at the 6th fret on the 4th string. Our ring goes at the 7th fret on the 5th string, and then our pinky goes at the 7th fret on the 3rd string. And we just play those inside 4 strings. The outside 2 are muted. So that's classic. Now I'm going to take us back through and tell you just a little bit about the theory of the voicings, if you'd like to know that, what pitches are where. So back to our first E7. This goes root, 5, flat 7, 3rd, 5, root. That's how that one's voiced. If we do the version down here, where we have our pinky on kind of a bluesy version as my ear sort of hears it, we have the root, the 5, the root, the 3, which is all part of our normal E major chord, and then our pinky's on that flatted 7th, and then we have the root again. So root, 5, root, 3, flat 7, and root. Our bar chords, if we come over and look at our bar chords, the one at the 12th fret is actually the same as this one, as I mentioned before, just an octave higher, but it goes root, 5, flat 7, 3, 5, root. Our other bar chord, the one at the 7th fret, but off just the top 5 strings, root, 5, flat 7, 3, 5. So that's how that one works, very similar. And then this one over here omits the 5th. We have the root, the 3, the flat 7, and then the root again. So that's how that one works. All great options for playing E7, just used in different contexts. So I hope that helps. I hope you're having a great time playing the guitar. We'll see you again.
If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com.